Hello, welcome to my channel Dalma Makes, and welcome to this project. This time I made a miniature bookcase. This is part of a little series I have on miniature furniture. With this project I had a very clear vision in my head. So to create the structure I used this chipboard and I actually glued together two sheets to make a stiffer, sturdier and thicker material to work with. I started with taking some measurements and cutting out the back piece of the bookcase itself. And I'm using a miniature book to actually mark the dimensions that I'm going to need so that it fits in the scale that I'm working with. So once I worked out the dimensions, I proceed to cut out equal width strips for the top and the bottom and the two sides. Soon I realized that I don't actually have enough material for all the shelves in the bookcase as well, so I prepared another double sheet of chipboard. And with that, now I actually have enough pieces. And I'm sort of deciding at this point that I want the shelves in the bookcase to not be at equal distances from each other. I actually want some to have more space between them than others. When all those decisions have been made, I'm cutting out the remaining pieces I'm going to need for the middle, and I'm trying to be as neat as possible at this point, but I have a little bit of difficulty making super exact measurements. I don't know why, for some reason I always end up with a little bit of excess or something. When I have all my pieces ready, I am using some PVA glue to start assembling them. And I'm actually using a conservative amount of PVA glue because this is naked chipboard. It's very porous, so it absorbs the glue very well, and basically it sets within seconds of touching the two pieces of chipboard together. I still allow a few minutes in between, and I'm being careful. I'm letting the outside pieces dry a little bit, and I've decided to actually trim the shelves a little bit from the depth of the shelf so that they are a little bit deeper inside. I think that looks more realistic just from looking at my own real life bookshelf. And when I'm ready and they're all trimmed to the perfect size, I just stick them in with PVA glue as well, and I let it dry for an hour or so. When it's fully dried, I am using a really nice creamy dark brown acrylic paint, and I'm going to be very thorough on this first pass, making sure not to miss any spots, because I'm actually not going to need a second coat. It has great coverage, the chipboard is very absorbent, so if I'm just being careful, then there will be no need for a second coat. And I just go all over the entire surface of the bookcase, inside, outside, back and front. I of course left that to dry, and now I'm going to go in with a very light brown to do some dry brushing. I'm only going to do this on the very edges and on the outside of the bookcase. I want to leave the inside parts the original dark brown. I think the little books that I'm going to put in there are going to look better in a darker background. With the bookcase itself finished, now I can move on to making my tiny books. I printed out this sheet from an artist online. I will leave a link in the description to the source. And it's basically just some really beautiful book covers printed out at a miniature scale. And I just used my inkjet printer on a piece of cardstock. And I'm just going to cut them all out one by one with some nice sharp scissors. The whole process of cutting them out was actually quite lengthy. I think I watched like an episode of a TV show while I was doing this. But in the end, I'm left with this handful of beautiful little book covers, so it's definitely worth the effort. Now to actually make them into little books, I'm going to be using some of that leftover chipboard from constructing the bookcase, and I'm going to use them as filler for the pages. These books won't be opening, they will be stacked nicely into the bookcase, so there is no point in actually making pages. All I need is just some filler material, and I'm just fit measuring and cutting to size so that it matches each little bookcase individually. I'm also using some straight nose pliers to actually bend the spines of the book very easily. And I'm also using a little bit of a leftover foam core from a different project for the thicker books. And I'm just going to be using PVA glue in a fine nozzle bottle, just so that I can control the amount of glue that actually goes on. And I will be doing the exact same method of folding by the spine, fit measuring with chipboard or foam, and gluing them together. Again, this was sort of like a long activity. I was listening to some podcasts, and it's fiddly, it's repetitive, but relaxing. In total, I think it took me about 2 hours to make all of these tiny books. They're really easy to make, and it's not necessary to actually use proper scanned book covers. You could use any sort of images that you have, or even just plain paper, to create tiny books, just like I'm going to be showing you here. I wanted to have a series of similar looking books, so I'm using this blue paper that has an interesting texture, and I'm just folding it over bits of foam core that I cut out to be about the same size, so that they all go together nicely like a series. The idea that I had is that the granny who owns the bookcase has collected plants and flowers over the years, pressed them, and keeps them in this series of herbaria. I'm trying to see if they all fit, And they do. And I'm very pleased with how that's going to be looking. I want to add some details to these, and I want to add a little bit of color variation. So I'm using a nice moss green ink and a sponge to sort of change the color of the book spines. And this is actually going to be matching one of the main colors in the whole environment. To add a little bit more detail, I'm just using a very fine detail brush and some metallic acrylic paint, and I'm just painting on some stripes and numbers on the spines, and I'm numbering them 1 to 10. It's not that I wanted exactly 10 books, it's just that that's the amount I could get out of with the leftover foam core I have left on my desk. I've also added a selection of other tiny books I had from before. Some of them actually do have pages, and others have glossy paper for the book covers. But in any case, I'm inking with a soft brown ink all of the edges. This is primarily so that I make the white core of the paper that they have been printed on to disappear, and it also makes them look a little bit more aged, a little bit more worn, just like normal books tend to be. And now to the fun part. First of all, I'm going to glue in the herbaria, and I'm just going to glue them in order. I'm using modest amounts of PVA glue because this is not structural and I don't want any overspills of glue to have any glossy patches dried up. And I'm just nicely sticking the books together, fixing them in place. I want to add this little jar that has a really nice polymer clay outside, but I didn't like the top. I wanted it to be something more fancy, so I'm adding that jewelry finding to the top with some hot glue. Now going through my stash of tiny books, I'm starting to organize them and making decisions of what should go where. I knew I wanted to have one shelf that's completely filled with little books. One of the challenges was that they were different depths. I didn't mind that they were different sizes. I actually like that because it makes it look more natural, but I wanted them to all be at the edge of the shelf, nice and neat, just like we do in real life. So to do that, I'm using the side of the bookshelf itself to keep them level, and I'm gluing them together upside down so that the spines are all resting on the table so that they will be at the same level. I'm using some thinner pieces that are sort of like magazines or comic books, and I'm going to stack these horizontally. I think it adds a little bit of variation and makes it look more interesting, and it also makes it look more like the real way we tend to store things. And finally, I am sticking in that complete shelf with all the tiny books on that second shelf, and I'm filling in everything else with the books that I have left. I also have a selection of little objects that I thought I might be using, including that little metal box that I thought I was going to be using in the fireplace, but big shock, I don't actually end up using it on the bookshelf either. It's just not meant to be. So I've used the same method of gluing the books together first and then attaching it to the shelf. I'm adding a little glass vase. It's actually a miniature glass and it's quite beautiful. I'm also adding a little statue of a well, and this is actually just a little charm that could go on jewelry. And on the top shelf I've arranged another stack of magazines, and I want to place this beautiful little clay pot with the spout and a handle, but I didn't want it to be brown. I actually wanted to paint it bluish green so that it matches the other elements I have in this environment. I'm also going to be painting the blob of glue, the blob of hot glue, with some metallic paint. This is the finding that I attached to that little jar. When the blue paint has dried, I'm using some more of that green ink so that it matches in color the books on the bottom shelf, and just simply gluing it in. I also wanted to add a little vase with some dried plants, and I'm using just a golden bead for this. I'm also adding 2 little decorative pumpkins to the top shelf, and this is sort of like an homage to my own work, as I made some really cute realistic pumpkins for Halloween this year, and these miniature ones, it looks so much like the ones that I made. I'm finally adding that little jar to the bottom shelf, and everything is in place now. I'm trying to see if you can see better with the light on or off. There it is. There's my miniature bookshelf filled with books and lots of different goodies. I am very happy with the outcome. It feels realistic to me, and it was great fun to make. I love working on miniatures and arranging things on clusters, so this project was a delight from beginning to the end. I hope you enjoyed watching this process. Do let me know what you think about it in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. I make lots of different crafty projects on my channel. I make miniatures, sometimes sculptures, embroidery, terrain pieces, and a lot more. If this is something you'd be interested in, please do go visit my channel and have a look. I upload new videos every week. If you'd like to see my future content, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a nice day. Bye.